She managed to wait a full 72 hours before she jettisoned this one. So hey, that's progress, right?
Stay out of it, I barked, as I tugged Liana into the dimly lit storeroom. The space was cramped, but organized, and tidier than it had been in some time, as I now had a proper off-site workshop and ample storage at home. My fiancé, Clint, and I had purchased our first home together, and we'd converted the large bonus room into my own personal workspace. For the first time since I'd opened my business, the storeroom felt like it had some breathing room. Well, okay. My side of the storeroom had some breathing room. Due to a set of truly unfortunate circumstances this past spring, I'd had to give up 1/3 of the space to Selene. A line of tape now divided off Selene's portion of the room. And while she denied setting any booby traps around her territory, I hadn't been foolish enough to attempt crossing the line. Selene's burgeoning enterprise took off more than I'd ever expected, and she needed room to work. Who knew there would be such a big market for bug-repelling talismans and memory-jogging bracelets in a town like Winterspell? But then, I had to remember that just because I lived in a city bathed in various types of magic and supernatural beings, that didn't make everyone a master of enchantments. By and large, the citizens of Winterspell could cast simple spells, but they either lacked the skill or patience for the more complicated stuff. Which, I supposed, was largely the reason for my own success, too. In any case, Selene's charmed jewelry line was a success. And while having to give her part of my shop wasn't ideal, so far, the arrangement worked out as well as could be expected. Though, in true Selene fashion, I was subjected to bi-weekly complaints and petitions to give her a few more inches here and there, all of which I denied, leading to epic witch fits on the part of the cat. Sometimes I thought she didn't even really want the space. She just wanted to use the issue as a testing ground to see what else she might be able to get away with. In her mind, if she could get an inch of the storeroom, she could get away with a mile over some other boundary I'd set. At least I now had some fodder to use when the next plea arose. After all, snitching me out to Liana couldn't go unpunished. Witches get stitches. "Cora!" Liana squeaked. "Why did you cancel this one? It was sublime!" A twinge of guilt bit into me. I did feel bad about canceling the dress order, especially after the amount of time Liana had spent helping me pick it out. After finding an all-inclusive resort to host the wedding, my wedding task checklist was pruned down to a near manageable length. The venue had an in-house wedding planner who took over the brunt of the busy work. But there were still a myriad of decisions to make, even if I didn't have to personally execute each and every one. For whatever reason, this arrangement had sort of backfired, leaving me agonizing over the handful of decisions I was responsible for. Chief among them being the dress. Liana, as my fabulous fashionista friend, had gone to work, booking fittings at a handful of boutiques in and around Seattle. We'd made a day of it, toting along my mom and Aunt Lavender. Selene, as a magical, talking cat, would not be welcomed in a non-magical showroom and had to be left at home, something all of us witches privately agreed was for the best. The dresses were beautiful, and after a long day of fittings, I'd chosen an ivory gown with a sweetheart neckline and a skirt that was full enough to signal a fancy dream wedding without making me feel like I was drowning in yards upon yards of heavy fabric. We'd even picked out a delicate jeweled headpiece I could wear in lieu of a full veil. It was beautiful, the kind of dress a girl dreamed of, fit for any princess, Barbie or otherwise. And yet, when I got home, I immediately questioned my decision. I'd called Liana and unloaded all of my concerns, and eventually, we opted to put the order on hold and go back the next weekend, just the two of us, so I could try a few dresses a second time before making my final decision. The only problem was that a second look only